Hello friends, welcome back to the show. So glad to see you once again. And if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. This is a little bit of a surprise episode that I didn't really intend or know that I was going to make, but this is a full review of the new Batman animated movie, Merry Little Batman, that just premiered on Prime today. In fact, I just got finished watching it less than an hour ago and wanted to jump on here and record a just down and dirty, quick and nerdy little review. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. So before we jump into the review, let me acknowledge the elephant in the room. Yes, I have a bandage on my nose. I am fine. I got in a little scuffle with some Marvel fans. No, I'm just kidding. I had a little procedure done on my nose, not like a nose job, a cosmetic thing, although it was kind of cosmetic. Anyway, I had surgery about a year and a half ago just to clean up some polyps and a deviated septum and that. And they had to go back in, just do a little procedure to kind of clean up. There was a bone that was kind of not where it needed to be and all that kind of stuff. I'm fine, in full recovery. And literally I have this bandage on for a matter of a couple of days just to help it heal. And so this review came up and I was like, yeah, forget it. I'm just going to record with a bandage on my nose. So try not to look at me too closely. I'm hideous.
Totally ups my intimidation game.
I knew about this movie, Merry Little Batman, from a year ago or whenever they announced that it was going to be on Max. And then or HBO Max at that time. And then they dropped it or canned it or whatever. And then it got picked up by Prime. And then honestly, I kind of forgot about it and was busy with everything else going on. Last night, I sat down to watch another movie on Prime, Miracle on 34th Street. Great holiday movie, highly recommend it. And this was the preview that played before the movie. And I went, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. And then it was saying, oh, it comes out tomorrow. And I'm sitting there racking my brain going, I got to do this. I got to just sit down, watch the movie, record a review, and actually, for once, be out ahead of the hustle and bustle of this. So this is completely spoiler-free. I will not drop anything in this that wasn't already in the trailers or not part of my personal opinion so that you can watch that on your own. If you are just want the nitty-gritty thumbs up, thumbs down kind of review, great movie. It is very enjoyable, very fun, enjoyable if you're a Batman fan or if you're not a Batman fan, or just looking for a fun, happy, festive-filled holiday movie. It is so great. By the way, happy holidays. Merry Christmas if you celebrate that, or holidays, whatever you celebrate. I got the studio decorated here a little bit for Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Gotham City.
It is a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas and is fully infused with Christmas. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend watching it in the season. It is very festive. It starts out with a great, it has a Christmas song, little animated opening, and it is just, Christmas is throughout and very well infused, very utilized. It is Christmas in Gotham. And the plot kind of leads into a lot of different Christmas themes. So it's very much a Christmas movie and it deals a lot with the father-son dynamic. I won't spend a lot of time to get into the plot of this movie because the trailer, which I'll go ahead and link a link to the trailer if you haven't seen that, because somehow I missed it. I didn't see this trailer come out. But I think the trailer pretty well sets it up. And I have a little bit more to say about the trailer coming up, but the plot is pretty much there. It takes place in a Gotham City where crime is no longer. Batman is a father to Damian and has pretty much hung up the cowl, and something happens that brings him back into the game, and Damian wants to be the next Batman. Which is very on par for the story, for the Damian storyline.
Dad, I'm ready to be a superhero like you.
And I would say the big thing that I noticed from the trailer, and I remember from the early artwork that I saw about this, yeah, the animation style is a little different. It's not your typical Batman Warner Brothers animated film, although this is produced by MGM, I guess. It has sort of a little Tim Burton kind of feel, or some of the more modern animated shows, and I think it works well. The animation, the character designs are unique and new and fresh, and it plays well with kind of the story that they're telling. So I really enjoyed that, and it's very well animated too. The movements and the shots and the way it's done, it feels hand-drawn. I don't know if it is necessarily, but it definitely feels hand-drawn, and it definitely feels like a lot of care and time was taken into it. It doesn't feel like some of those generic computer-generated 2D animated, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel like that, although it may have been made that way with computers, but it has that kind of, again, that just sort of lends itself into that nostalgic cartoon animated Christmas movies from my past. If this movie would have came out when I was a kid, I would have been all about it. I would have absolutely loved this movie. And who am I saying? As an adult, I love this just the same.
Awesome.
The other thing that's really obvious in the trailer, which I was a little nervous about because that can go one of two ways, is it's very much a comedy. It is absolutely a comedy. It's a well-done comedy. It is very funny. But what they do right about it, which is what I was nervous about, is that they would get this wrong, is that it's funny without making fun of Batman. It is very much like the comedy is well placed and well justified in the universe. I've talked about this before, but that's one of the great things about Batman is he can be serious and real world, and he can be fantastical and comedy, and you can kind of play different tones of Batman if done right. And some of the movies or iterations feels like it's making fun of Batman, and that just never really sits well. This is well-placed comedy, and again, adds to that lightheartedness of a holiday Christmas movie that you would expect. There's also some really clever, great sight gags that you see just in the animation in the background while something else is going on. I'm sure I missed a ton of them, but that made it just very layered and very enjoyable to see, Alfred doing something in the background or another character doing something that isn't the focus of the scene, but is funny and clever. Several moments where I laughed out loud, which you can ask my wife. That's not a huge compliment because I'm just a laugher when I watch movies, but it was very well done comedy. There's also some really great references to other iterations of Batman, other movies, especially Batman Returns, which is another Batman movie set in Christmas time, although this is more of a Christmas movie than Batman Returns. But it's very funny and done well in the comedy realm.
Oh, that one just leaves nothing to the imagination.
It has a really great father-son interaction between Bruce and Damian, which is really clever. And it kind of goes into a unique realm in that and a surprising area. If you've seen it, I'm talking about Bat Dad, where they kind of play that angle. Again, no spoilers, but it's a very cool, interesting way that they have that relationship, which again aligns very well within the comics. This version of Damian's a little different. He's maybe younger. I think he's 8 in this. So it's not the brooding, I want to get out of Batman's shadows kind of thing. I don't know if I want to be a hero or a villain kind of thing, but they definitely lean into those elements throughout the movie, which I think, again, feels like it pays homage and is well rooted in the comic book Batman canon, but also kind of goes off on its own realm and its own area, but very justified for that. And I like it when movies and stories of Batman do that, where it's not just random things for random sake, but it is, we're taking these characters, we're going to tell a one-off story that's kind of on its own, but it's rooted and doesn't feel like it's a, how do I describe this? Like it's a generic story that they went, oh, we'll just make this character Batman and this character Damian. It's rooted in the character's backstory and their mythos, at the same time kind of having some liberties with the character. Again, I think making Damian young works well with that, and also Batman semi-retired and being a dad role plays into well with that. And again, it has all those elements that you want to see from a Christmas movie, where it's that father-son relationship. They certainly have references to other Christmas movies like Home Alone, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, maybe a little Nightmare Before Christmas, The Santa Claus even. I picked up on some references there. So it is very much like a very great Christmas feel-good, festive movie to sit there with a hot cocoa and the tree lights on and watch, but also is an interesting Batman story. So it does both of those really well.
I'm saving Christmas!
Also, speaking of the characters, the voice actors in this are terrific. And I won't go through all the credits. I know Luke Wilson was in there as Batman, and I don't remember everybody's name, but they were all well fit for their characters. And again, didn't feel like, oh, here's this big name, great actor, let's throw him into this role and have him play this, which we've seen happen before. But these versions of the characters were all really well cast with the voice actors for the type of tone and feel of the movie.
Oh, how I want to make this a very special Christmas Eve.
What I also enjoyed about this movie is its use of the villains. You see in the trailer, Joker is kind of the primary villain, but they have a smattering of other villains in there that are well placed and well interpreted in this version of Gotham. I'll just say that much. And again, very well cast. The actor from I can't think of his name. I know him from Mythic Quest. I can't even think of his name in Mythic Quest. The guy with the mustache. He's very funny, very good, and plays the Joker and plays a great version of the Joker. And again, there's some great sight gags in there with Joker just being very random and maniacal and devious and all the things that you want to see from the Joker, but at the same time, has some heart and some warmth to it and feel-good moments with the Joker as well, which is a strange phrase to even utter, but there is, and when you see the movie, you'll understand what I mean.
By stealing Christmas!
And I think with the use of the villains, that there's not just the Joker, but there's there's a lot of different villains in there and a lot of different storylines going on. This is one of my frustrations with some modern animated movies, Batman in particular, but other ones, is it starts to feel like, oh, this could just be a half-hour episode of a show. This is well layered, deserves to be a movie. A lot of surprises along the way. It's not a predictable plot, although it's a common plot. I think we've seen these sort of things, these sort of stories before, especially in Christmas kind of movies. But the stakes are high. There's a couple of A plots and B plots going on simultaneously. There's some great comedy, some great action, great heart, which again is another element that you want to see from a good quality Christmas movie. And so it's very well layered. And just when I thought, oh, okay, I see where this story is going to go. And again, certainly from the trailer, I got a grasp of, oh, okay, I get an idea of the story. I would say that's only one of the plots, or two of the plots maybe. But there's some other elements, and as you get further into the movie, towards the end of the second act, or after the halfway point, it starts opening up other themes and other elements that I would even argue make it even more of a Christmas movie, and just add a new dynamic that I don't think I've seen in other Batman movies of this caliber.
Hey, I never said you were a baby.
So again, I don't want to give away too much, but overall, it is a great, enjoyable movie, whether you're a Batman fan and you want something that's true to Batman, or if you're just a casual animated, movie fan. It's only 90 minutes, so it's a quick watch. I find myself anymore like looking at movies and going, oh my gosh, that's 3 hours long. Do I really want to invest that? Or on the other hand, some of these animated movies are like, an hour and 6 minutes or just over an hour or something. And again, it just feels like, well, this is an episode of television. This isn't really a movie. There's enough there to make it fill out 90 minutes, and it went by quick. Which is, to me, a good sign that the pacing was up, neat dynamics, great character, great themes, And it's just a great feel-good Christmas movie.
I promise I'll be back before Christmas.
I will say, I've talked about the trailer a couple of times. I do feel like the trailer spoiled a couple of moments, and I won't say what those are, but I feel like some moments in the movie could have had a bigger impact or a bigger weight to them if they weren't alluded to or seen directly in the trailer, which is generally my complaint. But it certainly gives you a taste and a flavor of the movie, and I think enough that you know exactly what you're going to get, and then you get even more. I will admit, I don't think this movie is for everybody. I think a lot of you will enjoy this and at least give it a try and give it a chance. Because again, it is very much a Batman movie, very much a comedy, very much a Christmas movie, and it infuses all of those very well. I don't think anything is wasted. I don't think that there's any dead air parts or any sort of like slow pacing parts. Everything feels utilized. All the elements of Christmas don't feel like, oh, if you took away the Christmas elements, you'd still have a good movie. I think that they're infused in the story and the plot really well. But yeah, overall, I was sort of surprised that this hasn't been hyped up more, which is another justification of why I wanted to record this review, because I think that people are going to start talking about this later, in the next few weeks as we slowly trickle in and see some of this. I was just telling my wife just minutes ago before I started recording this that I didn't even really see a trailer online or whatever about this, other than when I sat down to watch a movie on Prime and it played the trailer beforehand. But YouTube did not serve up a trailer for this. And her comment was, does YouTube even know you? And I was like, yeah, exactly. The internet apparently lost my information, because I was like, this is absolutely right up my alley. And hopefully for many of you. So I want to spread the word to check this movie out. If you get a chance to watch it this weekend or in the coming weeks before the holidays, before Christmas, I think it fits well in this time frame. Is highly recommended, very enjoyable, safe for the whole family. So there you have it. That's what I wanted to say about the movie. Very enjoyable, yeah, happy holidays. Hope everybody is staying warm and healthy and having a great holiday season. And I have more videos coming up, so be sure to subscribe. I'm also thinking about doing a couple of live streams around the holidays. We did this a couple of years ago, and I think I might do a couple more watch-alongs around the holidays. Feels like the right season for that, to maybe watch either Batman Returns or Christmas with the Joker, or some of those classic sort of Batman holiday episodes and movies. So very fun. Great to see you and throw this random video out there. Hope it finds you well, and I will see you in the next video.